Brooke used to be pretty wrapped up in one another, right?
Yeah, it used to be. So?
Sparks flying, maybe?
No. You're on the wrong track, Trev. But I'll tell you one thing. Next to Maria, Brooke's about the best friend anybody could ever have.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what it is about the redhead that inspires the undying loyalty.
Well, she put up with a lot from me. Every time I was over the edge, Brooke was the one that was there. There's nothing we wouldn't do for each other, I'll tell you. And she proved that when she risked her life to save Maddie. I owe her, Trev. I owe her big time.
Brooke is going to be destroyed when she finds out this guy is conning her.
Yeah, well, better now than before she's in too deep as it stands. She thinks this Jim Thomasen is the all-American hero.
Real heroes do what they do for duty on our country, not for greenbacks. This is a case of the grease palm syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Dimitri already gave him $10,000 in reward money. You factor in his share of the magazine, Jimbo's a pretty wealthy man.
Money talks, nobody walks. Hail the conquering hero.
Unfortunately for Brooke, this guy walked into her life when she needed a hero. But I tell you, when she finds out the facts about him, she's gonna send him packing so fast, his head'll spin.
What if Brooke doesn't find out about it?
Well, that's where I take over.
I didn't set out to deliberately deceive you. It's just that I was so damned ashamed.
Ashamed? Of what?
I screwed up, Brooke. And I screwed up big time. I wasn't in Central America playing spy versus spy. I was in New York, where it's dog eat dog. My freelance photography just wasn't cutting it anymore, and schlepping my gear out to Teaneck on the weekends to photograph some 8-year-old's birthday party was not my idea of high art. So I decided that I wanted to do something about that. Get a loft down in Soho with some nice lighting so that I myself. But you know, banks are funny about loaning seed money to someone who has absolutely no credit rating and only a couple of beat-up cameras for collateral. So, a friend of mine hooked me up with a loan shark that was willing to take a chance on a struggling artist. The trouble is that it takes time to build a business, and the interest on this loan was just eating up all of my inventory before... Long story short, the gallery folded in record time, and the collector came calling. I mean, he was really good about it. He gave me all of 12 hours to pay up the entire loan, which had by that time doubled due to the interest, or else. Well, seemed like my only option was to skip town, and that turned out to be a huge mistake because obviously they followed me to the airport and sabotaged my luggage.
Loan sharks blew up the plane?
Yes. Yes, as a warning to anyone else who would default on one of their agreements. Brooke, I received a phone call a few days after the plane crash. Because I'd had the good, or in this case, the bad luck to have survived the crash, they informed me that the contract on my life was still in effect.
But you're still alive.
Yes. Yes, I used Merrick's reward money to pay them off. But don't you see? If you go to the feds, they'll make me name names, and if I do that, I'm as good as dead.
We have to go to the authorities.
No, don't you? You're not hearing me. If you tell anyone, my life is over. And it's not just my life that I'm concerned about, it's yours. And Laura's and Jamie's and Phoebe's. Those goons who blew up that plane are not going to take the time to ask what you know and what you don't know. It's guilt by association.
We can't do nothing.
But don't you understand? There is nothing to do. I've already paid them off. The feds can't trace the explosives back to me. The best thing to do is just to sit tight and ride it out.
Write it out. What about Maria? What about all those people who died in that plane crash while their killers get off scot-free? How are we supposed to live with that?
Well, let's look at our options. We have life and we have death. I choose life. I'm not about to be rubbed out. Not now, not when I have so much to live for.
Maria had a husband and 2 small children. She had a career saving lives.
Nothing I can do will bring Maria back. If I could change places with her, I would do it like that, in a second, unconditionally. Brooke, how do you think I felt when I realized that I was the one who was responsible for the deaths of all of those people?
What about justice?
Justice? Justice for whom? For the goons who blew up that plane? They have justice sewn into the linings of their designer suits. Justice for the dead and their families? Mateo Santos sought justice. He got the answers he was looking for.
They were the wrong answers.
Oh, right, wrong. What's the difference? What will it change? Listen, we have a future together. But if you dedicate yourself to what is past and unfixable, we're done for. Done for. Here or there. Now or then. Our fate is in your hands. Choose.
Trev, you were a big help. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm happy to be of service. You know, when Nat died, it took me a long time to get back to me. I didn't know who I was, where I was, what I was doing. I didn't even know where I slept at night. You doing okay? How's it going?
Me, man. I have my good days and my bad days.
Yeah?
The nights are the toughest, you know. Sometimes I reach out for Maria. I think she's still there, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't even sleep in my own bed. Watch out for Thomasen. We don't know who we're dealing with here.
I'll be careful.
Give me a call if you need me.
Thanks, will do.
All right. Nighty-o. Take her.
Life is for the living. And we have to go along the best that we can.
Oh, I love you so much. I want to make things right by you. I'm not sure that I can, but I'm going to try.
You know, so much has happened. I'm not sure exactly where we go from here.
I know that you need some time to sort this through. Listen, I just have one favor to ask. I know that I don't have a right to ask it, but please, don't keep me waiting too long.